Ladies and gentlemen, life is going to throw some punches at you. Sometimes the people you trust the most end up cheating or hurting you. It stings, it cuts deep. But let me tell you something. Don't let that pain define you or keep you stuck. When someone cheats on you or hurts you, the first and most important thing you have to remember is this: their actions do not define your worth. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, what's wrong with me? Why did they do this to me? Am I not good enough? Those questions will eat you up inside if you let them. But the truth is, you are not the problem. You are not less valuable because of someone else's poor choices or bad character. Your worth is inherent. It's something you bring into this world just by being you. Nobody can take that away from you, not even the people who hurt you the most. When someone cheats or betrays your trust, it reflects more on them than it does on you. It shows their inability to respect, honor, or appreciate what you brought to the table. It shows their weakness, their lack of integrity, or their selfishness. But it doesn't show a flaw in your value as a person. You see, too often people fall into the dangerous mindset of tying their self-esteem and self-worth to how others treat them. When a relationship breaks down or someone betrays you, it's natural to feel pain and question yourself. But it's also crucial to separate their behavior from who you are. You cannot allow someone else's bad decisions to convince you that you are not worthy of love, respect, or happiness. Remember, your worth isn't something you earn from others. It's something you own by default. It's built into who you are as a human being. It's the foundation of your confidence, your identity, and your future. If you start doubting that just because someone else failed to see your value, you're giving them too much power over you. You're handing them the key to your happiness, and that's not something anyone else should ever have. This is especially true when it comes to cheating or emotional betrayal, where the wounds run deep and the trust shatters. That kind of hurt can make you question everything about yourself, your attractiveness, your kindness, your loyalty. But these are just feelings, not facts. The fact remains, you are still whole, you are still valuable, and you are still deserving of respect. Think about it like this. If you buy a beautiful piece of jewelry and someone steals it or damages it, does that mean the jewelry suddenly becomes worthless? No, the value was always there. The damage doesn't erase the original worth, it only changes the situation temporarily. You can repair, restore, or replace what was broken, but the intrinsic value is still there. You are like that jewelry, precious and irreplaceable. And here's another thing. The way you see yourself will set the tone for every other relationship in your life going forward. If you allow yourself to believe that you are less because of someone else's betrayal, you will attract relationships that reinforce that belief. You'll accept less than you deserve because you think that's all. But if you hold firm in your self-worth, if you keep telling yourself that you are valuable, respected, and loved, you will start to draw people into your life who see you that way too. So how do you do that in practical terms? How do you remind yourself of your worth when all you feel is hurt and betrayal? It starts with your inner dialogue, the way you talk to yourself in your head. Stop saying things like, I'm not good enough, or I must have done something wrong, or I'll never find someone who truly loves me. Those thoughts are poison. Replace them with affirmations that build you up. Tell yourself, I am worthy of respect and love. I deserve honesty and loyalty. I am enough just as I am. It might sound simple, but it takes practice. The mind likes to focus on pain and negative experiences because it thinks it's protecting you. But you have to be the one to reprogram those thoughts. Write down your affirmations, say them every morning, and remind yourself regularly. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and remind you of your worth. Distance yourself from those who try to tear you down or make you feel small. Also, don't confuse your kindness or generosity with weakness. If you are someone who loves deeply and gives your all, that is a strength, not a flaw. Sometimes people who cheat or hurt others do so because they are afraid of that kind of love or commitment. They're not ready or able to match your level of respect. But that doesn't mean you should stop being who you are. Hold on to your values tightly. Honesty, loyalty, respect, they are what make you shine, not what make you vulnerable. And here's the thing, life will test you. You will face moments where your confidence wavers, where the pain feels unbearable, and where you might feel tempted to blame yourself. But in those moments, remind yourself that you have survived every hard day so far. You have the strength inside you to get through this. Cheating or betrayal is painful, but it's also temporary. Your worth is forever. If you can walk away from a situation where someone cheats or hurts you and still believe in yourself, that is power. That is resilience. That is the difference between living in pain and living in peace. You don't have to stay stuck in what happened. You don't have to let it define your future. You can rise above it, knowing that you are valuable, worthy, and deserving of better. When you hold on to your worth, you create boundaries that protect you. You learn to say no to disrespect. You demand the kind of treatment that honors who you are. And you give yourself permission to heal without guilt or shame. You become the person who others want to be with because you love yourself first. So next time someone cheats or hurts you, don't waste your time worrying about what's wrong with you. Instead, focus on what's right about you. You are valuable no matter what. You are worthy no matter what. And that truth will carry you through the darkest moments and into a brighter future. When someone cheats on you or hurts you, your first instinct might be to explode with anger, lash out, or respond in a way that feels like instant justice. It's completely normal to feel overwhelmed by a rush of emotions, anger, betrayal, sadness, confusion. But here's the thing, reacting impulsively in those moments usually doesn't help. It often makes things worse. That's why the most powerful move you can make is to pause. Take a deep breath, step back. Give yourself the space you need to see the situation clearly. Think about it for a second. When you're hurt, your emotions run high. Your heart pounds, your mind races, and all you want to do is react immediately, maybe to confront, yell, or even get revenge. But acting out of pure emotion often clouds your judgment. You may say or do things you regret later, things that complicate the situation or damage your own peace of mind. The problem is that in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking with your head, you're thinking with your pain. Taking a pause doesn't mean you're weak or avoiding the problem. It means you're smart. It means you're choosing to respond with wisdom instead of reacting with impulsiveness. This moment of calm lets you regain control over your emotions and think about the best way forward. Instead of letting your anger steer the wheel, you take the driver's seat. Breathing deeply is a simple but powerful tool to calm your nervous system. When you're stressed or upset, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your breathing becomes shallow, your heart rate speeds up, and your muscles tense. Deep, slow breaths signal to your brain that it's safe to relax, helping you gain emotional clarity. You can do this anywhere, at home, in your car, or even in the middle of a difficult conversation. Giving yourself space also means stepping back from the immediate situation, if possible. This might mean physically removing yourself from the place where the conflict happened, or taking some time before responding to messages or calls. This break helps reduce the emotional intensity and allows you to approach the situation with a clearer mind. When you pause, you create the opportunity to ask yourself important questions. Why did this hurt me so much? What is the real issue beneath my anger? Is this worth escalating, or is there a healthier way to handle it? How do I want to feel tomorrow, next week, or next year? These reflections guide you toward responses that align with your long-term well-being rather than short-term emotional satisfaction. Reacting impulsively often fuels cycles of pain and regret. For example, if you lash out at the person who hurt you, it might escalate the conflict and lead to more damage in the relationship or your own emotional state. You might also hurt yourself by acting in ways that go against your values or self-respect. On the other hand, if you take the time to pause and breathe, you increase your chances of making choices that protect your peace and dignity. This doesn't mean you have to bottle up your feelings or pretend everything is okay. It's about honoring your emotions without letting them control you. You can acknowledge your pain, your anger, and your sadness internally while still holding space to respond thoughtfully. This balance is key to emotional maturity and healing. Another important aspect of pausing before reacting is understanding that time heals, or at least softens the sharpest edges of hurt. When you give yourself time, your perspective can change. What seemed unbearable in the moment might feel more manageable after a few hours, days, or weeks. You might discover new insights about yourself or the situation that you missed in the heat of the moment. This clarity can help you decide what's truly best for you moving forward. Sometimes, the pause also gives you a chance to seek support. Talking things through with a trusted friend, family member, or counselor during this calm period can help you process your feelings and gain perspective. Other people can offer valuable advice, empathy, or simply listen, which can be a powerful antidote to feeling alone in your pain. It's also important to recognize that pausing isn't always easy. Our culture often values immediate action, especially when it comes to conflict. We're bombarded with messages to stand up for yourself, or don't let anyone walk over you, which can sometimes feel like permission to react without thinking. But standing up for yourself doesn't mean rushing into fights or drama. It means standing strong in your values and responding with integrity, which often requires patience and calm. When you master the art of pausing and breathing before reacting, you're building emotional resilience. You're teaching yourself to be the calm in the storm rather than the storm itself. This skill serves you not just in relationships, but in every area of life. Work, friendships, family, and even how you deal with yourself. So next time someone cheats or hurts you and your first impulse is to explode or lash out, stop for a moment. Breathe deeply, step back, give yourself the grace to think clearly before you respond. You'll be surprised how much power that simple pause can give you. It allows you to act with strength, wisdom, and peace instead of reacting with pain and regret. The path to healing starts not with impulsive reactions, but with thoughtful, measured responses. Your peace of mind is worth the pause. When someone cheats on you or hurts you, the pain can feel like it will swallow you whole. It's raw, it's deep, and it can shake your very foundation. But as hard as it is to believe in the moment, that pain doesn't have to be just something that breaks you down. It could actually be the fuel that lifts you up, the fire that pushes you to grow stronger, wiser, and more focused on building a better life for yourself. Think about it. Every one of us faces challenges in life. Everyone experiences heartbreak, betrayal, or disappointment at some point. What separates those who survive and thrive from those who get stuck is how they choose to respond to that pain. You have two choices when hurt comes knocking. Let it consume you and hold you back, or use it as a catalyst to move forward. Pain has a way of revealing truths we might not want to face but desperately need to. It shines a harsh light on the parts of our lives that aren't working, the relationships that don't serve us, the boundaries we fail to set, or the patterns we keep repeating. This is not about blaming yourself. It's about recognizing the lessons hidden within the pain. When you start to see your hurt as a teacher, you open the door to real transformation. Sometimes the hardest thing about pain is allowing yourself to fully feel it without trying to run away or numb it. That's why so many people reach for distractions or unhealthy habits. But growth happens when you lean into the discomfort, when you allow yourself to process what happened honestly and deeply. It's okay to cry, to be angry, or to feel lost. These emotions are part of healing, and they clear the way for new strength to emerge. Once you've faced the pain, the next step is to ask yourself what this experience is teaching you. Maybe it's teaching you the importance of setting stronger boundaries, the value of trusting your instincts, or the need to prioritize your own happiness above pleasing others. Maybe it's showing you how resilient you really are, that even after being hurt, you still have the courage to keep going. Using pain as fuel means turning your energy from bitterness or resentment into motivation. It's choosing to work on yourself, whether that means focusing on your physical health, developing new skills, pursuing goals you've put off, or surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. It's about channeling your hurt into something positive that moves you closer to the life you want. One of the most powerful examples of growth through pain is self-love. When you're hurt by someone else's betrayal, it can shatter your confidence. But it also creates an opportunity to rebuild your relationship with yourself. You can choose to love yourself more fiercely, to treat yourself with the kindness and respect you deserve, and to refuse to settle for less than what makes you truly happy. This kind of self-love is the foundation of all healing and growth. Remember, growth is not a straight line. It's messy. There will be days when you feel like you've taken 2 steps back instead of forward. That's okay. Healing takes time, and it's not about perfection. It's about persistence, showing up for yourself every day and making the choice to grow even when it's hard. Also, growth through pain often means learning forgiveness. Not just forgiving the person who hurt you, but forgiving yourself. Maybe you blame yourself for trusting the wrong person or missing warning signs. Maybe you feel ashamed or embarrassed. Forgiveness frees you from those chains. It lets you release the heavy burden of guilt or regret so you can move forward lighter and freer. Using pain as fuel also means finding purpose beyond your hurt. Many people discover new passions, careers, or missions after going through heartbreak. The pain pushes them to change direction, to find deeper meaning, or to help others who have been through similar struggles. You have that power too. Your pain can give you a new sense of purpose if you let it. You don't have to carry your pain alone either. Seeking support from friends, mentors, or therapists can help you process and grow from your experiences. Sometimes an outside perspective helps you see your growth potential more clearly when your own vision is clouded by hurt. At the end of the day, using pain as fuel means you don't let what happened define your future. You don't stay stuck in the past or let bitterness eat away at your joy. Instead, you rise above, stronger and wiser, using the lessons learned to build a better, brighter tomorrow. So yes, pain hurts, but it also has the power to heal if you let it. When someone cheats on you or hurts you, one of the hardest things to do is forgive. It feels unfair, like letting the other person off the hook for something terrible they did. You might think forgiveness means forgetting what happened, excusing the behavior, or pretending the pain never existed. But that's not what forgiveness really is. Forgiving someone is about freeing yourself, not them. Holding on to anger, resentment, or bitterness after being hurt weighs you down more than anyone else. It's like carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks everywhere you go. The person who hurt you